Hallo agus fáiltear of chuna chiad frógram acinne van narpis spórs is mó a bhís géaltachstócha ar a bhlíonasa. Farpis slíadarach na crunnig. Hasin am na Nairn for a bhfuil na lúchleisichin wat imetach jiffer guig en nog is bón a bhónach a gaibh pein inniu. Chiad heich bhain as an narpis gan hort seachat inniu. Se réis luav is an réis cafacach agus son de chamar ceast tre is fat ham nog is Lorna Eads. Lorna, thanks very much for joining us and for keeping me right. You're a former international athlete yourself. You're part of the organising committee. So tell us a bit about what we can expect in today's race, the mixed sprint relay.
Yeah, so the mixed sprint relay is a 4-leg relay, 2 men, 2 women. Each leg is about 12 minutes, everything done and dusted in 45 minutes.
And they have to sort of negotiate not just the map, but also the obstacles of the town, public,
yes,
general public, everything.
Yeah, the course runs through the streets, through the parks, out onto the dunes and back into the links.
Hallo, Bria, al in jakin onder in Nairn. Hallo, Mr. vai vloeg, vai voor, vai garaf. Ach, hasni shop, son een rest toerist rief, le farpisch liederach ne krunnig aan de lappen. Hier toerist geta relinse. Sketa hier toerist rief, va een narpisch heense. Akin aan de lappen. Zit je nog een derde toerist rief, va een mixed sprint relay maar achter. Geen race, een grat race. Miskichtje, paarstichtje aan ietsje, dat is se sloog mór de garpesich agus de luchtliantin ha seo. Híisiú ar pialu dras da min ochus machpa gin chúse vi saun mar vi set al rasröd. Fo rituvne drahet, rituvne mare tronne vale agus sit slie vis de pornich liantin shit. De pornich galavis er hiet chórsken seo norsen gisher and ochus sé hele agus pornoch kriach noch. Javier tulle ripuloch in de chórsíise mar an leidig in pink no putby agus gorum e gahru shit. He get kolige korraartje in de ruin agus anagishin koiat de rigisin dat in de jalaven. She wat is kutte mich. Den du in je versat, vi sjoeld. Voor een gang in de hoes kan ik jou nelle. Ach, veel meer kutje går tron een goede keer te houden. Ja, her ik het juf. Gaan een paar niet, parak erishin, gaan een verder niet. Zit is wie dat talent hier zo om miskikje te hebben. Machrichen met de mare, agus de Noorsen tron het heen zullen stijren vallen. Agus kan je wansjen, han de straatje verskilj, als slogenaach, als een raad. Veel meer dulle wie veeggeloch. Ach, boel dat is de coin is zullen. Han een vatbeschik me ha, de krinige geloine torschochi, dat pielje, dat is een rie. Tronne vooraan, agus tronne jaar betuif de park. Zo slie, aangezien zo slie wist looglesig in de val af. Had de show voor, gewoon eens leggen duwig. Het vergent heul, kielt en vatbeschik jullie leren saas agus miske va te googenen is as a race skipping show. Skipping te gerder. Agus ik jirigal bi hiet straight te vein in de moonige de kutchiken. Hier zijn goed. Shit holior. If is a re de richting as he hiet jaran in a race. Zwischen Zuler as shit agus hier meer Lorna Eads back and takers go. Lorna, we're seeing the start list here. They're in the order in which they all finished just about in the World Championship last year. Is that really a sort of a favourites order? Would you say Switzerland are favourites here?
Switzerland's are definitely a favourite, and they're running the same team in the same order as when they won the gold medal in 2014.
And it's a very experienced, very fast team.
Yes, very, very strong team. Denmark, very strong team as well. Same team, but running in an opposite order to 2014. Others to watch are the Russian team, Sweden, Finland, and Norway.
And what about the British team? Is it a strong team? Does it have a medal shout?
It does, yes. The 2 girls have run internationally for some years now. The other 2 boys have had some injury problems, but yeah, they're both very fit at the moment.
Thanks, Laura.
Definitely got a chance.
Shoshi ma, could you get nothing happen? If you will not see me, if you have a vapik, hookal praag, mach per alar, ga hookal law, I guess machlo. Show here shallige you out in the vap. Had the kamal suler the vap, had the kamal suler the gaumpast. I guess a Genevieve Schlie mach. Gunne hier gichterschen, shit in Hosha Rofik shit. Tronne Loinashin. Fé met gal Harrisher, hat dol gan de line wiesh. Hier is gan wacher. Agus ri Jemisi camera marish kieshu. Lapri Andras, maar we krijgen. Hij kan keurig, hij ligt op plaatsen. Ach, bij achtergrond is de toosje gezien, die slie had de goal. Zullen we leren en pikken. We saw them all starting together, heading towards the initial start control. Then things start to get a bit different. You can't necessarily follow the person in front of you. You might have a different route.
No. For the relay, they run almost the same course, but every now and then the field will split and they'll have one of two different controls to go to before coming back together again.
And you have to go to the controls
you have to
in
go
the order,
in the order. Yep. Otherwise you're disqualified.
And also the big key is running quickly, but getting your navigation right, and also making the correct decisions of how you go from one control to the other. That's where the race is won and lost.
It is, yeah. And with the sprint relay, we are talking seconds.
So we see here where the optional, or maybe the optimal routes that each group could go to get to their next control gate, and who's all going there. There's a big bunch there all heading. They won't quite have split yet. They all seem to have taken the same route off the beach.
Yep, so you maybe might just start to see. Yep, I would say Denmark,
Everyone seems to be going the same direction at the moment.
GBR as well, going that way. Okay.
Well, we'll see how that develops. Holten je is vallen we you see. Shit dat het hager thanks Lorna. Skarger hier in je woon hier in dan hebben kies ne soan je geval af gegecht is brichten niet ne russen niet ne frankisch toch het je in je rille bi karmach gehaast skarger jane wat de shinketa ach de Tsjechisch meer een blur. Jetzt moet ik in de regering zitten stokken de gaat de sliek jaar gaan hier gecht achgesen. Hier de Bjarn, als ze goed, den hu je gaat. Zit net aan werkig. Tavenach, de sloon net tavenach geleef af. Holt in je koord, gaat je wel. Ha duifse. Gaan je pillig panten bij me halen. Ach, het is behind you, gewoon hier. Half zoals Eliaten is. Hier is je maar aan de straat en koe en kopikken zo. Hier is het toen maar aan de ninja naar een. Je had het al tro. Fishertown, ballen in Jeski, goeie woord. Zo, tokkelig in pikken voor mij, niet hier skeren voor mij. Is lokelig, ik heb er voor ook een naam. Ik is natuurlijk een val af. Tronne hier te loinen. Ik is vier Noorsen slie acht jaren weg. Net dan werk ik, maar gewoon zien. Gemaskipelte, een val af hier te geven van Victuul, Geriat Wieger, hoor. Het eens niet zo aan ik. Maar als je zin vieren, net dan heb ik maar haar. Aster Mori en van Joe Skippegakke, hier te geven gijzen. Had Kamaldo Emma Klingenberg ha regiert loine geisen sil met mijn mama gaan je zie en Jamie Jiriger regeef I guess hij gemaskippeld dat she Maya Alma hari kan dan hebben gezocht alm a point geschit wel hori hekke I guess iets aan kleva Lucian Laura, there was some debate in the Danish team over who would it be Maya Alma or Emma Klingenberg who would go. Is there an advantage if somebody's slightly injured? Is there an advantage who runs first or who runs last in the relay?
Yes, on the first leg, they're looking to make a bit of a jump on the rest of the field. You need to get that head start so that the other runners in the team can keep it and they're not trying to play catch up. So from this, my arm has got a bit of a lead just now. And the rest still together in pack. It's Holly Orr just punched for Team GB.
So there's not a lot between them, but at this stage you would expect things to sort of the gap slightly widen out from here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lorna. Shinsule bara ha kusen de dol a kwatrische loine. Ficht kan je bijiriga at je trainer staat niet wat vast manager jirigen de dan werd ik sport. Emma Klingenberg a haun ze hier te streep. I guess Holly Orr rate of rating koik chicken chick jirig de dan werd ik jirise. Dan poploch ne sheik I guess New Zealand as hier 3 jaar in New Zealand is poploch sheik kojonen ik jirise. I guess hier shin maar haat het skarig mori en we zitten hoe die geeft gewillet het al gedaan. Kenig oornen, kon geeft gewillet het al. Bij hasterach in de sloot, bij hasterach in de skjurre. Alles gaan natuurlijk in de Russen gesne. Montje in de Hillevisch, val af. Krap waar horsach het kagen oorsen. En jetzt in Janema. Janne Kema en mag voor een jiggenille. Wischen Süler. De kichtigen Ries maar wat waar Rahel Friedrich. Er zijn skippen Hillevisch, weet je. Het is mag je van oorsen kujok. Tatjana Ryabkina Rie. Er zijn de Russen niet. Hier streachjes en agus. Ik hier ze Koloskevil Ryabkina. Agus Friedrich Genjelevic. Het je nu kleva vinger vanaf van Holtenje. Schon het al van de GPS trackers genjulen. Ik hier ze lesne klassieken de farpische geluk. Moet je waap ze hakken Athene satellianten. Lorna, having a look at that dense clump of athletes altogether. It looks like the Russians and the Swiss have maybe stolen a march on everyone else there, but I think it was 17 seconds GB were behind the leaders at that point, but that's a manageable distance at this stage.
That's right, yeah. I think also from the GPS we've maybe lost the GPS signal for Maja Alm from Denmark. You saw her just on the screen.
She managed to get through there. It had gone missing. I'm slightly confused as to whether it's Maja Alm or Emma Klingenberg who's running the first leg for Denmark. Our timing screens are showing Emma Klingenberg, but Maja Alm was the order in which it had been listed. But there's Holly Orr again through there. Is this unnatural for orienteers to be running in this sort of urban environment? For many people watching at home, it won't seem like they're sort of the more expected arena for orienteering.
Yeah, it's the urban side has developed over the last few years. It used to traditionally always just be a forest sport, but they started to develop the urban, and it's really taken off.
I suppose it's a way to try and broaden the horizons of orienteering and bring more people into the sport, since more people do live in towns.
Yes, and it brings it into the public eye a lot more.
So hier Shujanat, het al tronne tres poing klaarigje. Gira creatieve shot, vasker, loine kriach nach hi, van sloog, het krinjachig. De tennewerkie gaster horscht, verloren kjars, vaschen je GPS geven gauw. Emma Klingenberg tronne schön. Horsach agus koig chicken in ocean, arashkori Rahel Friedrich, agus 9 chicken arash, go Tatjana Ryabkina Rushanoch. In Jetalchoch geta. Lia Patscheider is in Jetalch, weisje 9 chicken rierigerishin, jetzt in Janema. Ach hier schöne Schan, de Tanaverki Gerashak in Erechlar. Agus Skarig. Is schön, das schön eentje nog is. Tanaverki het al go kli. De Russen is moeite in de Hellevische tal. Go chess, han de naster aan maar de gondje weer waar. A hier zit tegen skippelte, zwiezat. Het haste zit de joelheid. Gaan je wijn? Den haster houden nach deze zit hallen aan. Dan werk haast horsach. Hij je ma. Kan er ze wachtbeken. Agus. Ik vind verder wil ik klevage. Zit met een Hellevisch. Agus. De Russen nog het in de riest. Zit. Maar begin het koude zit. Het al toch zijn weer wel harischer. Chinese Lizzie Ingham komt gewoon naar New Zealand hoor. Treintje. Had de Januma een fijn horsachere jiesje. Ze fijne schlie. Tronete kanarach. Nog even weken. Holt in de riech. Tronete. Ik zeg maar hier. Maar kun je niet. Je mag de kar in. Je kunt die glorie gaat onder. Het cool he. Zit de Australia Rachel Effany. Harry, dat ze hier jaren in de race zo. Ken ik skipien te Gerard. Paar nog, Giesje er nog. Ik is een oorschen. Paar nog riest. Ik kreeg nog een race. Dannewerk, haast er horsjoch. Had het in een ma in het farewell pink klare jacket zelmi. Giesje t-shirtje. Bjarn houden de oorschen. She haast. Sin Dannewerk. Horsach. Kaag. Silmi Grey en McClingham. Lorna pair arena commentator seems to think it's Emma Klingon, but it's good. That's good enough for me. But
Okay,
she's keeping ahead. She's managing to keep this lead and even perhaps extend it. But we've seen a little bit changing behind her. Lizzie from New Zealand managing to get in amongst the top few places.
Yeah, little Lizzie has been running very well recently. Yeah, they're splitting. One thing to maybe look when the athletes come through the control checkpoint, you'll notice them punch and then bring it to their eye or to their ear. The timing chip has an audible beep as well as it flashes colour to say that they have correctly registered as they've gone through.
Because if not, they better go back and do it
They
again.
have to go back and do it. And when you saw them through the dunes, you saw Holly turning and going back just as a double check. So she was maybe unsure whether it registered properly. So it's the safe thing to do is to turn around and
Well, that would expect that maybe explain, because Holly appears to have gone back a little bit. She seems to have got a little bit lost there. We'll see how that turns out. Bishon and Nochus, na Halmer at the visa, Holly or a skip of rating. Hishin, the feed, Jushel or some Torshoch, I guess in Danavark, Peace, Matt or Hoshoch, the whole thing in the ocean. Had that fall off van een Hiev Giak, Arch, van een Schach of Pink Giak, and be at the Gamas, I guess Hanat and Ocean, give me at the Rash. Ik Jerry, Emma Klingenberg, Maha. Schach chicken richet der Hoschach, ik gegeet met Jerry, ik is ook chicken richet der Hoschach, het er chicken was een tresaach. Hier maar iets slow, je aan de jucht, but in Marach, bisschen jesse sprint door zijn, ik is verder berichting als een tresaach, Chris Jones.
I think my favourite's probably the relay, but I've had quite a lot of success in the sprint. I was 6th in the European Champs. It was a bit of a, wasn't expected. I had a very good run, and but I think I'm most proud. I won a silver medal in the Junior World Champs back in 2010, and I think that's probably my best moment. Yeah. Gone to the last 2 World Championships and run the sprint, and I'm really I set my sights just to try and do better than last year, better, keep improving. So I'm going for that. And I was 18th last year in the sprint. I think I didn't have a great time, so maybe if I can go out and get a top 10, but then you never know who turns up. So if I can go out on the day and perform well, then I'll be happy.
Should Chris Jones ma John Magari Hishin Marach Team and Hitchly Spring in the Lorna Managin on the Jikach Hishin Jinkeville and Danavark Peace Mar Hoshach and Lorna 39-second lead at the end of coming to the end of the first leg. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
I mean, is it clear what that's down to? Is it simple speed or just good, clear route finding decision making?
That looked like running speed.
It would have to be to make a difference like that.
Yeah.
It would be more than just. Not everybody else could make a mistake, surely. Hishin Marahai inish getaach in Fashk Loine Kriach noch I. Chin Danavark Hoshach Guma, Chin Rash, Prituvne Trahat for a slow gefehu, Evishit in Balach Bekin in Vekavi, Chin Machazarad, Highly Fatas in Shachirach, Chin Prituvne Trahat Mani Hishin. Toch in de geeft meer ik hij zit hier nog van de groeve kasjen. Ik is het Genevinische voor veel holtje krinichtje kolar. Is het dus al zo'n in de schach. Ik is oorlog naar reis akelen soren obach ver in de klassieke film ver in de farpische film de jaren halen. Zo is er Elia tronnen de ploeg kijk eens door zijn chies voor een welke ulige vehu. Shit soren bobach afehu. We zijn er allemaal als het daar de jaren generation het dan aan kijk. Ik is op is het haast er heke. De chain trant loog. Gaan ik ploeg hier hij shit. Ik is famous nisje. Hinisjach. Harish er loide. Ik is she hokus. Klaar. Oh, hij zegt er gewoon. She jemes. De mag Porsche. Ik is Schal geskiesen ha en Klingenberg. Cúig minute an díag agus cúig chicken díag. Sin bhúlta in is atin a bhat nú ach seall go fatte choiseach sa haid. Hulta inile nicht. Hulta inile na knap. Agus ishe et allemaal sé twee lassen gemeliskal er allemaal zo'n naarne streek ga een Danemark. Toch maar zit er als je de doelen hacht ga ach. Oh, als er maar kijk hier we schach gezet dat de vier met Pierre nakel dat er heen in jelle we zit in schach de nire we zit in schach. De hetteltje als een daar naach. Oh, Jenny mag hier shit. Je kunt pikken die ene gaan. Jellevisches dressage, door zijn jullie weer schouder shit, had maar haar vastge minach in jullie in Denemark. Russen nog gewoon aan like snifferen die ulle vehu. Han is suanig, peace, maar jullie kutjok en er heb gezien, ze was stogen, ik holior, ik heb richting shit de suanig vanaf. Ik is katje wil holior. Ik heb richting New Zealand is aan de bekken dripplatch. Maar dan is ik fijn naar tripplatch er weer de fijn trunne kichtigen. Kiel en Mau. Je zag nog lessig in de show. Hard loer. Ach, schal geski ze haat die we rie. Was je een fake in de show, maar ga je holly oren show. Shit voor een kuschen kargi. En dan game ik al rash. Go get to who cheek. Lauren, that appears to be where things have gone wrong for Holly or for Great Britain. She's had to go back to gate number 11, or has gone to the wrong gate.
I think she probably went, wrong gate. I think it's important which direction you actually approach the control from. You can't put your hand over the wall. You have to approach from the side that the control's on. So maybe
there will
that
be
was
places where there's just maybe a little bit of a tape or a fence between them, and you have to go from the correct side. But that's a hugely impressive lead from Denmark at the end of the first leg. Emma Klingenberg really taking it out to the cleaners.
Yes.
We talked about it being a race of seconds. Maybe not, but there's another 3 legs to go. Who knows?
No.
Any other surprise there? The Swedes seem to have had a bit of a problem as well. We would have expected them to be better. They're over a minute behind.
They had a problem last year as well when their first leg runner, she lost her shoe. So I had to, stop to put it back on again.
Dave Shora there waiting and looking. And this can't be easy for an athlete seeing so many others having got away well. There's still the Germans and the Canadians and others waiting, but this isn't the start they were hoping for.
No, Holly will be disappointed with.
Just nobody will do it quite quickly, but that's the men's race. The men's legs are considerably a little bit longer, and there are more control gates than the women's.
They are, the actual running time should be the same, but they run slightly longer loop. Here's
Holly Orr just coming through the gate right in front of us as we watch the thing. That'll be a disappointment for Holly. I think she had very high hopes coming into the race of doing well. It can't be nice. A nice feeling to start off and know that you've lost really quite a lot of time.
No, she's capable of keeping up with the top girls.
Wat er is je geloof. En de laatste is wat je korma's minute hier gehad. Shit de tana was kies hoshach. Als je galwarake chin rash goosje. Minute jiek gele water gehiert. Controlation. I guess Jenny Westerklima, ga eens naar Dries, Sheldon Bjarn, haal het er uiteen, ergens. Kaag. Gaan je gedillen en knaap. Sheldon gaan je natuurlijk het al van de shit. Jelevish, ergens naar Russisch, Russovich. Als een daar is de rest, had je chicken waan, je hebt er daar heverschen. Ergens, mondje een fjol in Noorschen. Chicken, nummer shit, er hierige shit. Ergens, natuurlijk, chien. En skeur shit. Oh. Gave me a chilly shit. That was an interesting one there. We saw the timing seem to work for Finland, but the Finnish athlete wasn't sure. He came back to the control there just to be double certain.
To be double check, yeah.
Better safe than sorry, but he'll be disappointed if he knows he got it right the first time.
Yeah, no, you have to make sure that you have the correct punch time.
Just looking at the timing for that, 19 minutes and 57 seconds, I think it was for Holly Orr coming in there. That's about a good minute and a half at least, I think, after the Danes. There's hopes of a medal appear to be gone in that, unless there are mass disasters.
Yeah.
But the British team will still be hopeful of medals. We heard from Chris Jones earlier in the programme. He managed to finish top of his heat going into the men's sprint for tomorrow, and that's maybe a little better than was hoped of him, I would say.
Yeah, no, that was very good from Chris. So in the sprint tomorrow, he'll start at the end in one of the top positions.
Yeah, he sort of got some of the top guys in the world on either side of him. Exalted company. Shoshi Maha had Arash as a ganavach, I guess a misk na dúchin, I guess a chili rish irintalia, a yemisi nintehen. Talav miskichishin, fichit minach, I guess fichit jik. Tre agus trí harsel a vinach hosioch in Jelevish. Two lassen gan Danavark hosioch Martin Hoopman as in Jelevish. Agus Norshin Gleb Tikhonov. Gan a Rush Eshin as in Dresach Fjollein Lithuania. Hultin Yeshitanish Chorus Minach Yerich in Danavark. Skip a Varke. Niels Norotulakin. Can we get the Puloch Homashin? The Hoshach and the Hulta Yelle. Shortanish at the Misk, the Dane Beckett on the Fisher Town Balinyeski. Jennifer Retuve, the Heine Gavor. I guess a Gianni, she sleeve over a shit at the Jake. I guess a Huchiak, Erva Achkesen. I guess a Ronin Achkatin who goes at. Lord, that graphic quite nicely demonstrates how important route finding is. He's kind of picked a different route than the computer predicted.
Yeah,
but
so he's
in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
And there is a huge difference in 60 metres in terms of the time it takes you to get from one point to the next.
Yeah. So they've got to make that decision just by looking at the map, which they think is the shortest option.
And just to reiterate, they don't get a look at the map until it is handed to them in this case. So they instantly have to look at the map and in split seconds make a decision. Do I go up this street or the next street, or do I carry on to this corner?
Exactly, yeah. And turning sharp corners slows you down. You have to slow to go around the sharp corners. So the athletes will sometimes look for a route that has less left-right sharp turns to smooth out, which is what the red longer one has. So you can really get up to speed, and you've only got one sharp bend. Whereas these other routes, you're having to check your speed more regularly.
The shortest route is not necessarily
the best one. No.
Eentje nog. Danavarketa haast pies ma hosioch. I guess at the chinje train shoko. Farvel shinje. I guess a slow. It be all hulodinje. Ha krinichtje sho at the Genevornje. Schachtere theater weg. Animal and then dinje Nairn. Near little theater. I guess it Gianni Verashid. Green, we shall retrieve the mare. And Haster had to read. There is Schliegos at. Ach, 3 Karstenhuren gereed. Die had de Mafaske koik millimeter. En ik wil nog eens nu in hakken. We gaan leven gaan. Ach, het is vasker minach. Ach, Lithuania. Zoals kan dressage. In Jelevisjes en daarnaast, en Huijn, een chillige rash, en een race, geheen toch. Oh, count more. Could you get us a what? People getting a good close look at the action there. Nearly a minute of a lead. It's being extended, but interesting to see Lorna Lithuania jumping up in the top 3, and Sweden having made something of a comeback there.
Yeah, no, Jonas has pulled up some time.
Impressive stuff. You can't see anybody getting the Danes, catching the Danes at this rate, though.
They are almost a minute leads, looking unassailable now.
He should who go as a shot. Schlie quarantine should go. Al should to us trying to tackle the more. Niku will Schlie aan kan hier ze weg. Gaan je al hoe ze should. Dan hebben we hier zo lijnen. Jarak is prachtig net dan hebben we dat je biegelt or. Tackle Groot kettig je wie fuse faskere wel is. Van Chiamiasen. Not de gaskus en bargo ore. Gaan boring even wie vasker en aarts, je vasker kuntje en rondje trainen. Wirkels gimmig at, je nog een nog een slie en skirre dat je veraartje gaan. Maar schön jemig at wie, kem afvecht nog. Kunnen we vasker, maar nog snel schenne werk tien jaar. En dan je naar een nach boring heeft over. Dat is nu je schön. Ach, hier zal ik had de fijn. De Wallis, de half, de vacht, gekutter mag. She fair, maar de toosje de reis. Ach, en dan werd ik, want de job van je kunnen zien, wat dat ze daarna had, en daar willen ze keer check, kere rache, ulig. Er een skipping, ik is het je nummer. Ondertussen je 24. Prehorek en hier is het. Had het je een vasker. Zeggen kichtig en meerig is. Gebouwde een stadje voor als je. Gewoon manager als je gaast. Dan wat koch. Twee lassen. Pies maar als je gerold in je. Als je nog truur ille haar brein manager. Ik geeft me hier als je nog een fijn. Vis met een rasje hier je nog een vatter als je ha. Holt in je. Schiamenich en richt. Scoot chicken cheek. We het alternation hier je. Want je de helwisch skaag. Gaan je dat fuse vask. Richt oh shit aan is jakke. Haha.
He's holding it.
Chorus. Jechert chick. Well, they've been hoping to catch up a little here. They've been hoping maybe to gain something, but he's not letting anything slip to him.
No, he's holding his time.
And the Danish team is, as you said, it's reversed the order from last year, but it is the same team as last year. They're all very experienced and great athletes.
Yes, no, they've got a few medals between them already. So
zit een pennawerkie. Had de Chianef Fask herinneringen is. Gaat de hier gaat de vaste skrianige. Chalaf maar houden. Hij is Elianten Jerishen. Hij is Jennifer zit voor de reisers aan fijne schach. Gaan een show. Ach, zit er aan nu. En maandag zal ik sprinten in de reis. School is voor Chris Jones. Gelijk is voor Chile wisserie te verrichten. Ruth Holmes.
I'm a sprinter, so I do the sprint discipline mainly in urban settings rather than the forest. I went to my first World Championships last year, and although it didn't go very well, it was a great experience to get there and to be in the team, be part of that team and have that experience was fantastic. And I really hope that having had that experience last year, then I can really perform this year, and that's my aim. The great thing about orienteering is that you can't influence other people, so actually you can have a goal to have your very best performance. I have a position in mind for what that might be, but really the goal is to execute everything that you've done in training and just put the very best performance you can on the line and see where that gets you, and then stand there on the start line at home World Championships and really kind of perform well. And I'll know when I cross the finish line if I've done that or not, regardless of what the result is.
We zijn nog eens genees gemaakt. Ruth Holmes en Marach klinkt natuurlijk met Jane en Noorzen. Aan het einde werk ik haast er hoosjacht. Zijn vasker leren hier te zeggen reis. Ach, in je leven is het prehoren. Tijgert chick evanjen is er koolu. Hij is de zwaanje kutjach. Pakent je nog hier is het chicken maar zit had er Chiane weer. Hij jaar naam haast. Hij is aan het einde werk ik haast. De tanig haast le laan smaak erishen. Twee lassen hand, je soren bobach en isjes het allemaal naar aardje als ze een dressage. Like you said, Lorna, to come back to you, we've seen just the gap just closing by about 10 seconds to the Swiss and the Swedes, but still a commanding lead for the Danes as Tue Lassen comes into the finish.
could be just a different forking rather than actually running speed.
So it could just have been just the route on the map as opposed to any decisions or pace they were making.
Evening out. Yeah, so he's just coming to changeover.
And just a word there, you see, they drop their map, it gets put into a bin just to save any confusion, doesn't it? But this is just the first time that Soren Bobach will have seen it at all.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
And how difficult is it to grab it, run, and work out where you are?
Oh, it's something that they've been practicing a long time.
Nog liamt in verrichting, Talichtje. De Maracujan draast aan de berichten niet gedaan, aan de Pekantare.
Switzerland, 32, he's brought up another 10.
So that's sort of impressive pace. They've definitely tried to put the foot down towards the end of that leg. Hier in is coming in Zulemach, via wil Skialer Dave Shora de verrichting. Quantrie timings nu. Liggen gal af. Maar Pies maar hier gaat Silmi. Jevinac. Haast er Horsha gedaan. Danavar in Jelevish. Toen eentje een hoster is Javac. Dat trein is een. Kort manager hier is gedaan. Honderdje. Show haast nog eens gevangen bonach. Ha fast kolloch is. Give a look at the Danavark, Jelevish, Huang, I guess Lithuania, Gerarashin. Lorna, this week it does look as if the medals, there's a four-way fight for the medals now. Denmark looking fairly comfortable at the moment, but Sweden, Lithuania, and are all pretty close to them at the back. And
so
Switzerland, that was the other one. I'm
missing
forgetting somebody. Swiss, the Swedes and the Lithuanians. Is it a bit of a surprise the Lithuanians are doing quite so well?
No, they've been in medal or certainly top 6 in the past.
Shorshin Mahal Falav Irintres Horst gonna race. Come on, Sulemacherson. Berichting. Viach tegen Vatser Jirikse Sahaatbulog. Kushin, Durfgeversen, Kishu, Klarishin, maar holden je een nog ging macht, riest, de Danaverkich, Haaspies maar Horsjoch. Let dit vloe. Er is een leuine jarak, is een weer gerijn, is toch een leuine skippelte. Ik zal maar een beetje de hele wisser, ik pies maar mag ze raad. Dus een opprichtje, dan een oppricht. Gaan het dus, je vermoorden is dat er maar een Kushin de goal. Ronishin, so Lorna Ferrishin, you're just writing down, Lorna, the very thing I said. That's a hugely different route he's taken, but maybe one that's working for him, except he needs to go to the gates in the right order, not the reverse order, as it were.
Yeah. But the route he took was smoother and less in, out. I guess he was with that pack that's just coming in, so...
He's not won or lost much there.
Not, even though it was a much longer route.
Here's Dave Shora coming in. He seems to pretty much have struggled similarly to Holly Orr. Or trying to look at the timings, I'm not sure that they've lost that much more time, but it's a fairly disheartening process when you know you're well down and there's not really much you can achieve by even running your heart out. Should have to fall off. I guess Nedanaverkich haast. Jevinac Horsjoch Roltenjach. Hakush de Chamach Pekan as a race. Shit. Naging de Schach, shit. Manche Lithuania and Frankie het Brehor Station Kujok. Ach, König kan Schlieter alle Schach Grigo alle show. Parak de Scarring on the race to fair na. On the race to bar nog hoe te goed gaat te komen. Schach wil de lichtige nachgerigel. Schach torre. Oh, machine ergol gaat oppikken. Zit de Russen nog waar wil zien ze sliek jaar. Is de Russen niet gertje maar as manager Faravoat. Ronishin. Ronishin voor wil. De plichten niet gemaakt had er hierig. Lorna, looking at that, it's interesting to see the Russians have fallen back quite considerably compared to where they were on the first leg. They seem to have lost a lot of time. Lithuania have gained, and the French are back in the mix again as well.
Yeah, no, you can get quite a bit of switching around. I mean, this might be part of the different forking starting to play out on the second leg. So maybe they had slightly shorter or longer on a previous one, but on the next one.
Because it evens out
it
over the
all even
four
out.
legs, but
Yeah.
not necessarily that each leg is roughly the same length for
That's
each
correct, yeah.
country. So would you expect to see much more shaking up of the positions between now and the end of the race? I mean, Denmark look well in control still.
I think Denmark they're certainly well out there now. But I think, yeah, silver and bronze.
Kishvoor is on. Japan, Jirach getrain. Shintrei hier is er apeel. Jirach. Spoch nach le pulach gari holdoa shit. Hier shit Jirach marakushin. Tuin koal Jirach schrien at reality. Er de goos hier waar janu. I guess shit dat je een paarske differ. Shit I guess holdoa is geskippelte. Ze ha wil doen glessig in Athene. Quante. De timings verte. Jirach gefatse in Jirik ze waar. Richting de drie meerige version. Achter of gaif schlie voor, maar zit asterboor, maar zit hier van aard aan de reach to me. Kies je maar een suanig. De mandje de hele reach kwal schlie kan materiaaltje. Ach kolle sorry. Zit de suanig nog kijken. Over, zullen we laten wat kargen. Atelianten die gele zit katlu. Mandje de hele is gema, dus loeie. Mensen het dan aan wat kwaad. Dan gaan die bekendjes. Wat pullig lekker wie van willen. Eentje nog zit tegen. Quantrische en na hecht te goeren een haakje. Had haast er hosch niet aan werkje. Bjarne zit het krieën ik vier de chicken is. Lorna, we're seeing the gap down here, Lorna, to just 20-odd seconds between the Danes and the Swedes and the Swiss. They are definitely catching them up
They're definitely
now.
catching now. Maybe that lead wasn't quite so unassailable.
It looks so dominant, but it also comes down to just the individual pace of each athlete sometimes, doesn't it? Some are just quicker.
Some are just quicker, and they will just pull back in that time.
Soren Bobach.
Still
Paul as a sprint in Nuri. Begorke Miguel Lokeljaar.
Oh, yep.
A shot and ish.
We get a time check on the next one as they come through the arena run through.
Figet check gewoundeke. Kimi Jerik. Schalischen mission ish zat etchin. Pre erar. Biaulen je show. Farvelend loger ish. Dat zag er theater wekkers. Shita farvel de suanig verder in trein. Had de chillige doorschen tronne de keulraadje. En je ze nog keer als je moet. Een uskeltje. En je shit dit aan werkig. Shit nu raken. Die gevask ze haat. Bjarn van haast. Chicken. Ah, Ganil maar waar. Cook chicken chick, Shia chicken chick. De Frankig. Gontje de Hellewisch, de Suanig, verder in Kassen haast, keer toegenen. Is jij 3 punten zo. Bjarn van Oorsen ging je in de leg, maar die gieschen, zo'n je zijn achterhoek. Ze saar, streeg zo, wie ik de Frankige, de prehore, steeds in jerse. Lucas Passé, de legge zo, en de Frankige, ze had je nu maar prehore. Daarna werd er hoog haas gedaan. En je zit je nu. Maar het haakje is een ding in de lip. Zit er naar. Je moet er een minnetje hier in de daarna werd kiek. De Russen die de misk. Je had de hoosje. Maar de hier het streek is in de Tatjana Ryabkina. Andrei Kramov. De linker zo zit net daarna werd kiek hier in Schal. Krummiger vallen op, maken ze wat, daar ze weg. Het chicken, kijk hoe mis chicken dat gaat. Dan is je de wissel. Short. Injelevish. Rank. Agus sin de súhainich. Sin den ceirear a mwy hoiseach. Seo hiad réis as an éid bain i bhódach go seo an den Nairn. Ag farpis slietarach na crunnig. Een mixed sprint wheelie mar a hacer is a bhiola. Skipi in de ceirear. Baron nog het horsje hoog cheese en nog ze wie eens doorschen. Baron nog hele. Maar een nare, san dat ze zitten wist het zien waarom niet. De chicas er waard. Heb je hard wakker joren gedaan? Trippeltje schutle. Trekken een Frankje naar dat rastje. En dan een werker staat. Oh, schön dat er horsje. Trippeltje pikkelish GPS en de straatje goed cool. Kartofkel het al gauw chick de gaag. And you're not natuurlijk in calling on the knappen. Lord, there's a lot of clumping going on just now. The Danes just out ahead, and there's 3 behind them. There's a group of 5 or 6 countries behind that, and everyone almost starting to fight their own individual races now.
Yeah, no, they'll be looking ahead to see whether they can get the jump, even though they're running together.
And when there is a bit of a swap, there's no chance even to speak to each other and say, look out for this, look out for that,
No,
try it here, because you don't know for certain what order the gates are going to come for your partner.
No.
So everyone is running blind.
Everyone's running blind. The most you can probably give is a little motivational quip to your
A gentle
runner.
word or two.
Yes.
Or not so gentle. Joshin Yarashik statue maha. Soren Bobach, Train, het al duwele keinig, fijnille rivichin. Rashin Hufse, agashit, chin duwele, gaat die bjarna, bashit buk. Nee, chicken, this law, na chicken in this. Ha, de huain, keer chick chick, rieriger in Danavak. Rein goch chicken chick. Ha shot, het in fash, kegis, tunje haastrig Maya Alma, visser de dremme jirig. Gan y dan afergich, agus session ha ribitjanu ma Lucas Passé gan y rhain gysynt aber llef ygysyn. Son na Frangich o'r starash siach gan y chwys. Ha dy chyn y garash yn isma ha, siach y giw sy'n y trahad. I gyda ymach tronig eich dysyn, agus yr ash goffar y fel sy'n y ffehif mi tyf y trahad ysio ond yn Nairn. Hyd la dy reisyn môr agus roidd van reisyn giach yn iawn. As yn y sprint i fys an y marach, hwn y breithyn i hwyl y tre. Agus nach mac y dŵr. Ach laat dŵr i fic y breithyn i'ch gysio. Had gyma ffater hierig ar y hwlycal. Mae gael aram, chai cwysyn cael gael fyr i chi tre le holi o'r. Ach siol mar an y sŵan i'ch. Smutje in de helvish, strijg hele. Ken ik, dat je ook niet naar Frankrijk. Maar wat ik een kader in GPS achtersen, had een misgehuis kujoketa. Ach zal, loine tjirach wat ik in dat reality gaat als je het gaan aan dat janne weer in de geechte waard geta. Zijn is triplats. Vaker ik al pikken is looitjes. Ach zo zien in ist, het je mag als een kreven. Je is in het raad als Soren Bobach. Hij is niet pikken. Je de verjaarde van een gaul. Ach, toch kan brengen haast chicken huiskelige riest. Lorna, things have got close here. Soren Bobach has lost a lot of the lead they've got, but he'll still be handing over in first place. And I suppose that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and when we saw the GPS back there, it looked like the Swiss had to go to slightly further away control.
So they've just lost a few seconds there.
You see that cost them about three more seconds. That would have been on the split rather than running time.
But it's still just, it's so close. We thought they were running away with it. We thought the Danes had this in their back pocket, but it just goes to show you can't be certain.
No.
He should nicht mehr hat. Die Hacher is in der Rebbe Soren Bobach. De Fakel Kuus Noorschnik Maya Alm. Hij is een Bjarn, de Fuskeling Macherisch en de Frankie terug moet ik in Rierig. Hij is Falaf. De Jensi en hij geeft Frankoch. Lucas Passé. Dan werd Kerhorsach Risch gedaan. Chine Schachko, Faravel Shinje. Schachat er Faravel Arv Shia Harichet. Ach, Fischen Zuler draast go van de larne waardig. Er is een darne race artbusach gaan. Een sprint heen en is collision bo. Goedje skippen de richting draast. De race Liz Campbell.
The sprint final, they will have had a qualifier 2 days before, and they start in order of the position that they qualified, so the fastest sprinters will start last. Then they start at minute intervals and they all run the same course, and it's the fastest over the course wins, with a winning time of about 15 minutes.
Hísin Pillig in a sprint a marach mag. Seo a mixed sprint really. Seo Soren Bobach van Danavark. Is Jack, I guess, a Dolagagal Cushion on the Lavans, on the Gowns, on the Cassin, Maya Alm. She at her Hoshach, ach shit in Yelevish. Fair Iridiri Gorin. Chick, Evan, Soren Bobach. Oh, Galavat the Syrische Vap. Kus Kavak a Judith Vida, Checho Yoloch as a sport is Galavi is in a Vapike. By Fiach be Breher Maya Al Mixalavi. You might call it a beginner's error there. You're running away without your map, you won't get far.
The handover.
But the gaps are so 1 second, 18 seconds, 27 seconds.
Crucial. That was crucial.
And does Maya Alm have the pace and this just the map reading ability to open up this gap again?
Yeah, she does. I think she has a bit of a problem with her Achilles, but it depends how much training she's lost with that.
Hishi Marahich Maha. Shoshin, see this again. Wrong map. Oh,
wrong map.
So it's not her mistake. It was the tired handover from her colleague, from Matthias Kiebels.
They have spare backup maps.
In case it blows away.
In case they pick the wrong one.
Commission Sule Sean is Fiaction. The Marahatol, Le Britain, Chris Smithard. If it interest came, the Britain you should. Holly or Dave Shore, Chris Smithard, against Catherine Taylor, goal on the wall of Miri Geisen, Lithuania. Oh, can you let all it? Vilius Aliel Jonas, Mihalich Lishin, the Russian the Kuchok, Raster Howl. Ach, should the Boron the Kinish Faraf, Him Miri Geisen. Mabria has, Tashin Van Hulan, the striker. He me hold in your checking in the tent to get if you have a task. A Hashin Yervi first knocks on a race, and you'll thrust the Vian, Hagrian and the Jarshis get a good art, and the block on it. Shit Maracush match in the Shak and Toshach a leg me yirik. Then I've chicken Hoshach and Yelevish, and who I ook chicken chia garash, I guess Notion Ryan, Kai Yegan Litorian and Maticuri, bone as a shin. Lord, it looks again as if we're down to 4. It wasn't the 4 we had before the last leg, but France managed to get themselves back into the mix there.
Yeah, no, they pulled themselves back up. And there's a bit of gap then to Finland and Norway, but yeah, we'll see.
And the track here, each long tail is 15 seconds, so it gives you an idea of how close they are. So the Swedes look as if they're close to the Danes there, maybe 6, 7, 8 seconds behind the Danes. Oh, Switzerland into the lead. They took just a slightly different route there, but it may be how the leg breaks down between the different controls. 2 seconds. Ancient Hariru.
Yep, switch in the lead.
Yelevish, Danavark. Agus an thuaid hier turris en nu nach ro en Danavark as hier taach. Bjorn en is chunjag in ille. A reinker gol yi. Kavelat Ashon de Frankie, Femicro Scarial, the Sahushach gezin.
Yeah, Leah's lost a little bit of time.
Ashet er vitor of Frankie gezin. Lea Vercelotti dremierig isje. Maya Alm Gandanavark. En zo eindig Caroline Olsen a haun. I guess Ganjelevic, Judith Wieder.
She's missed it. Yep.
Oh, Cavalli. Should chain if you'll let Maria Rantanen. I guess.
Bit of indecision, yeah.
There does seem to have been a couple of them been pretty uncertain whether or not their dibber has registered or not, whether their time has been recorded properly.
Yeah,
as we see the date ahead, it's just coming and going, isn't it?
Together.
Hatre de Giele, maar Judith Wieder, I guess. Maya Alm. Wieder. Ganjelevic, Alm Gandanavark, Liantin die hele, ach kan je niet gaan doorgaan Pulach. Storkel de mag begin nach gadrialetje. Chick de ga tushach tuik kach kechte. Oh, shit Chris Smithard fair in trainer Biel je show. Han de bjarnen er vis fuskelig in de berichten niet. Han je shit maar jury gaat de wie. Shit gekentjoch. Kushner de vitar vijf de berichten niet in ju gaan je laar lo maar wie gaat de jury. Hakal Ramicher. Had Trushva. Chorus keer minetje. Erik de Dani. Just a word there, Lauren, on the Brits. Unfortunately, the British team over 4 minutes behind the Danes. They seem to have been losing time consistently on each leg, which is disappointing. But it means you're not singling out any one person for any drastic mistakes, I suppose.
No, I think. Well, we'll see Kat on the last one. Last year in Italy, she pulled right up through the field on last leg. I think she pulled up from something like 10th, 11th up into 6th place.
Catherine Taylor from Cleveland on the anchor leg for Britain.
But I think probably that is maybe a little bit too much to ask for her this year.
Yeah, there you go. Holly Ora, Milgai, Dave Schora, Chris Smithard, Lihele, Rhys Shears on the Cheshire, Clabacus Chase on the Chester, I guess Catherine Taylor. That's a Cheravachi again. Hishin Demerich Law. Ach Shushin, Danavar Haster Hosha, Hishin, and a Doliav. Thor Ryan, and she showed ich can grown Jiffer Hushin, I guess, each no hard, Ullige Fall after who is a Vian. She is Gerrit, ach she is Taintje. Shouldn't she is Dorre? Guy Vullig, Hishin Demerich Law, Machasishin, will at the Kamal. The Shaloine, Nanavil. En zo heb je hier al voor alleen. Ik heb stof gelasterd. Roet ik in dat reality jachtjes en Rigoal. Zo'n golftrone controls. Maar je is dat. Maya al. Goed een point gekke. Als je hij is bij vier. Die haast de Bjarne shit. Uskelige max. Chili kan verder willen vlogen zo. Hier is er wacher. Bjarne Uskelig gaan het door de heen. Is Judith Ieder. Hiesjen. Aan het holletje raken, zit de garpishig vrichting als er is. Holly Orr in Colderham. Holly, thanks very much for joining us. You ran the first leg for the GB team today. It doesn't really seem to have gone to plan for any of you. I think over 4 minutes now, the gap with going into the final leg. Difficult course?
Yeah, I mean, the course was good. It was tricky. There were some good route choices to split the runners up, I think. It's a game of chance sometimes, and I think we rolled the dice and got a 1 every time, which is frustrating.
You seem to have a wee bit problem through controls 11 and 12 as we see Mayal coming through the crowd here. You seem to sort of double back at one point. Was there a problem with? Were you on the wrong side of the gate, or were you on the wrong side of just not sure what had happened?
No, I'd fallen earlier, and I was trying to chase back up and. I think just got a bit ahead of myself and missed one control out and had to turn around and go back. So
trying to make up time and losing a little bit more. Is it? How does the course compare with other sprint relays you might have done? It's some of the wee narrow lanes look pretty difficult to choose between your routes and which way you're going.
Yeah, and I think the beauty with this area that makes it more complex than you think is nothing is at right angles, which is really unintuitive when you're running. You don't think right, left, because the right is 70 degrees away from you, or throws you a little bit, so it's trickier.
And what was the plan? Was it to go for, Lauren has been talking about the nice smooth routes that might be a little longer, or was it to try and go for the shortest route through the back streets, or just take what looks natural?
I think take what looks natural. In the relay, when there's so many people, you get carried with them, so you're not going to make any maverick decisions and go yourself. And here there's no tight
particularly
corners.
In the first leg where you were everybody so close at the beginning.
Yeah. If there was tight corners, sometimes you avoid those, but here it was quite smooth, so straight was better.
What's your feeling on the race then, Holly? The Danes have been in the lead almost from the start. The Swiss managed to get ahead of them briefly, but that's turned round again. The Danes look to be the class in the field at the moment.
I think the Danes have it sewn up. I think from this point on, it's fairly straightforward. It's fast running. Maya is a very fast, confident orienteer, and I think she will hold her own until the end.
Holly, thank you very much. We'll hopefully speak to you again later in the week.
Yes, hopefully. Thank you very much.
Holly Origin, about SAS as a race in Utah, skip a vrichting. She reageert stregi ach gaat de oper gapulig maar wij keer. Bi kunt ook alles really ille. We sound tranjachken mooi as a gulje. Ach rakusen pulig maar jorigi heen jo. Dave Shora, na Chris Smithard, na Catherine Taylor, han raast de mooie regoos de vrichting. She had haast net danig hoshach, she kon trie she gloch gezure had nee chicken jig. Ik doe dus meer honderdje hoshach in Jelevish, Mayalm. Shin kon ik je nog chicken en doen je gezien Caroline Olsen de strembier gezegd. Mayalm misnagel kelor. Hij hier Shirikata hier het Paulo Riewig ke farpisch in de kranjig. Huri Paul Rakic en Nuri als een ratio heen. Er water en daarna aach. Agus gaan je toen tot de vrijheid naast Giesje tegen vast kunnen Nuri hier te zeggen de race maar in het remmen hierig agus kuschen kan we vast kijken hierig. Oh happy jaar nou zal koik chicken chick als een Europol als je haga je kun je het er heen agus Chine Hellevish Judith Wieder. Agus Mayalm Jenna Westermanschen. And Lorna Eads, Arash Connerum. And Lorna, we're just looking at the map there. Mayalm has opened up a big gap again over the Swiss. And Judith Wieder will be, I suppose, regretting that mix-up with the map at the last changeover.
Yeah, I think she lost contact just with doing that. But I think my arm was just, yeah, put the foot down.
And we saw it in the first leg as well with Emma Klingenberg. Really good, pure running pace from both the female Danish athletes particularly.
Yeah, no, they're yeah.
Class.
Class the athletes.
It was that 2 seconds down. She was almost at the very near the beginning of this, and then she's opened up over a minute of a lead. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Gaan je toen het ondervrij Maya Alm Surmi hier in drie geregeerd van or ik gereef Surmi ach ko jo boon oe Nirvinisch hosjacher de Suanig han meintje Lochling ulig is drie dat gele Catherine Taylor aprichting het je slie RPL nie shot van het loog ach are holt in je screen voor de Russianische hoogewatch Fioling as ze Kiavach, ach Maya Alm, she'd fash Ganisher in Yirik, I Hofater Hoshacher Kach, I had a Viarna Mishanuskal Grish, Kormas Minich, Barak Navaundik, I'm Zemig in the Rage, I guess Ikovic Ishel. Suas Iriliat, I guess it's in the null. I Kovi fash kick it. I chin the null, and ish, Arash with Tuv, chin the null, Gatuv the Marit. I guess can I get a goal. Oh,
no.
Kimberly, who are you going to shoot the horse?
That's the gold medal.
Shoulder of Yarnish. That's to my reading, that's quite incredible. The gap that she's opened up. Okay, this may be a slightly shorter leg for Denmark than for some of the others, but that's just pure pace.
That's pure pace. So on the last
she's
leg,
got all her controls.
Last leg they have slightly different, just to try and catch them just at the end.
And this is assuming she has got all her controls. We've seen timing through all of them, but they'll have an idea whether or not anything's gone wrong. She can't have missed anything, but that's just an incredible gap. Should Judith Vida? It's in the Olden Ish. Can't really take down a hound. They do a rain from the weirigen from Satchel. So hold the cat like water Shabbat Beke, they do a hickory goal. Cavalinish. Oh, should he? Oh, minutes gelegen woord. Er we are nach Schouder Nirvinish. Keer chicken in Jirik. In Jilevish. Oh, Apparusse, straight Anne Margareta Hauske Nordberg, Chiyolo Hariri, as a Dutch Mirik and the Russian Eagle Shachaton Suani. Ach, Kwasa Hanikat. Oh, Stocker, leg courage to show Rish. Sio mae Alba chi, chit na ten beke. Mae si fyr y drai yn ddyn narin, shit var i digsw. Hanil i shit o leis y shit gyda, siachat o'r sŵs yr iliad. Hanil pinit o lyfrehor, hai chafwr i cyndirig. O, sy'n skipping i'r ffat. Had caffe, had tjuselgi. Maia Alm. Sor yn bobach leis y frachtoch yr y gol yn tŵ y lasen. Agus Emma Klingenberg. Agus y tyn sias iliad. Siachat yr yn ddwog. Y gol, mi al yn eart fwy fylle. Johnny Gardach yn sias, a hyd bod o'r. Dy gart bys yn sliadroch ni crynig, da fil ys y coach i ac ydol, chyn y danafarc. Minach. Harish i rwy'r hydje.
She looks dazed.
Wow, sy'n fod, a hi gra Calidol. Calidol, sy'n fod ffemig o ddysach.
She's going straight to check that...
Yeah, she has to get in and make sure that all the times you're downloaded that everything is above board, that she's been where she needs to be, but that's a dominant performance.
We got...
Sean Ishmaha. Oh, Njerevish.
Silver and bronze.
Het Kaul, a Njerevi, ol Shachatore.
Norway's
Anne Margaret, Hauske Nordberg, ol Suesken en daarna aard, Shachator Judith Wiede, van Njerevish. Wil je toch nog al views Paul Noach, en Jella Bjarn Keljorike. Harusha nog het pre. Anne Wiede, Judith Wiede, dat is Njerevish Kutjok. Shut Wiede, Harusha nog als een jay. Hij toch nog al het rest uit Kutjok. Sues Eliad, Harusha nog met een Jellenich als een jay. Ha fysig Wiede Keljaunen is, laab Shies. Kavelshi, Gary Schalling in een loine jury.
Russian's got her.
Sean Njerevi Maha. That's a darna hatch.
The silver just finished.
Shit Paul, Arakic, Njerevi. I guess the Russian. Fein yn dres hatch. Shachet der Judith Wiede. Ga je kjár ik in hier hosioch er nach de hockey maat kjast. Ga je holkel shachet Ach ovo. Apperus kriach reis. Danamark, a fein Paul Noor. Njerevi, loide, a fein a Paul Arakic. Agus. As de chicken meirig, de kemmen meirig, de Russianig, a fein Paul Oe. Apper kriach genereis. Apper chirige, hat nan knappen, dan is suanich nan laie. Had Judith Wiede nan laie kujok a fein. Fachkel na kloos vo a ko arpishich, ga puringaif. Kali janele, achara na ko terug. Nische Turusela. A gaan Danamark, het Johnny Gardach is. Samachkesen, a ha Paul. Or na farpish. Ach siat over hosioch. Van hosioch gnoi gewoon. Kusen geljoor. Harejaun, Mahank, de Laura Eads, zo'n wie koler in Pisje, Rashisho, zo'n tillige Marchen, de feken in de Liga Chinisjach, ach reheed haast, zo nog een BBC Alba, Kilimiarlijke night tuntjeer, Giotuig, de heese uur, een premiership aan Nalappe, shit ik 2 uur nog. Game we zakken in de Haag, Hamilton, hij is prachtig vissel, shit ik 2 uur in Kujok, zo het BBC Alba. Van Nemanjakin, Reuer, Pinage Makin. Aan de koepende camera, kan je verschillen, dan gaat er in je reuren, agus love het, er nog gelaatjeek. Schachken van je keeruren. Agus in Nairn hier kost er nog schachken je station, paluren te lief, en dan skippen heel woord. Bishen ik keeruren. Zo, het BBC Alba. Agus bishen er asje maarach. Karstel kokoek, bishen er in je, bishen aan de farish. Zo'n reis gerritjillen, de fartbishich. Laheen, gaan ander skippig. Agus sjanerig brichting commissaris aan truren nog. Agus truur vorandig. Agus Noorsen, tjekiating, business a chalje aan Darnway. Agus zo, a je narin. Paul Noorke Danamark. A je wel was zo.